Uh, What's up, guys? This is Bishi here, and we are ready with the knockout stage live draws happening for the LoL India Champions Cup. So, we have finished our group stages and we have found our top 8 teams that will be participating in the knockout stage to determine the king of South Asia for League of Legends. With me, I have with my friends today Siddharth Frost Ranjan and Vish Loki Bhaskar. What's up, guys? How are you doing, Frost?
What's up, man? What's up, Loki?
Thanks for calling me your friend, man. Really appreciate it.
You are my friend, man. And that's all we are, though. Nothing more than that.
God damn it.
All right, so I'm very excited for us, like, cause this tournament has honestly lived up to the hype, and now we are at the business end of the tournament, right? Because you have seen that the top 8 teams have qualified, and just before we even start off with the draws, let's talk a little bit more about how the group stages went down. And personally, for us, looking at the results, it seems like the Pool A seeds definitely sweep through their groups, and they are going into the knockout stage also as first seeds.
I mean, the first seeds, they dominated. There is no other way to put this. All four of them got 6-0 results in their groups respectively. So, I mean, they do deserve to be there. They did deserve, and
All
they
right.
have performed remarkably well till now. As far as the second seeds are concerned, we saw some beautiful performances from, I think, majority of the teams in the second seed. So, yeah, it's turning out, shaping out to be a really, really competitive and beautiful tournament.
Most definitely. And Loki, your team as well, Natkhat, Launde slash White Shadows have finished top of the series. What do you have to say about their performance in the group stages so far?
Yeah, I mean, all me, obviously. I mean, yeah, but they've been performing really well, and I think all the teams that have gotten first place like deserve it.
Definitely. So, before we start off with the group draws, let me explain you guys how the drawing works. So, let's move on to the sheet, Orion, with the live draws. All right. So the thing is, the draws that will be happening right now are going to be done in the same way that Riot does the format for Worlds. So the main format and the rule here that we need to follow is that the teams in the same group will not meet each other until they reach the finals. So what that means is, if on the first half of the bracket a one team from group A gets selected, that means the group A second seed or the other team will have to be on the other side of the bracket. So this is done to ensure that the teams in the same group only end up meeting each other in the finals. So not only the same side but the same group as well. So how we will start off the draft first is, we will first select the pool, the first seeds, and draft them into the 4 brackets as you see onto the sheet. So we will draft them in random order, which is why we're going to use our Wheel of Fortune to it. Once these 4 teams are drafted, then will become the tricky part where we have to assign the second seeds respectively onto their sides. So just as an example, let's say we drafted Eximious on the first half of the bracket, which is quarterfinal 1 and 2. So when we start the second place drafting, if we end up drawing Ignite Esports or also part of the same group first, then they will skip going into quarterfinal 1 and 2 and directly end up going to the quarterfinal 3 bracket, because that's on the other side of the bracket. Similarly, for other teams as well, that's the notion that we'll have to take care of, which will mostly begin once we start putting the second seeds onto the knockout bracket. So, without further ado, Orion, I think it's time that you roll the wheel of fortune and see what the 4 quarterfinal seeds are gonna get. We're gonna get for the number 1 seeds. Yes. Red Viperz Gaming Frost. So you guys are gonna be on the top half of the bracket. Any thoughts, or just want to wait till everything else rolls out?
How would I have a thought? I don't even know anybody.
All right, so it's
Oh, dude,
so
you could
Red
have made a
Vipers.
thought fun, man.
Red Vipers are the team that end up going, but let's see who ends up joining them on the same half of the bracket, which should be quite exciting. Orion, so just roll the wheel and see what we get. Slash White Shadows are gonna be the second quarterfinalists in the bracket. So that basically means that White Shadows or Natkhat, Launde and RVX are on the same half of the bracket. That means their second seed teams, aka Stormraiders as well as Lanka Lions, will be on the second sides of the bracket. All right, so let's move on with the draws and see what do we get for the third quarterfinals bracket. That end up taking the BO3 seed on quarterfinal 3, which basically means Eximious eSports is going to be the one that is joining them on the same half of the bracket. So quick thoughts, guys. So we are potentially, I'm just saying potentially, looking at an RVX and Natkhat Launde semifinals and a Ruthless Gaming and Eximious eSports semifinals as well. What are your thoughts on that, guys?
Pool A was always going to be explosive whenever they met. All 4 of the teams are excellent. So yeah, it was bound to happen. Yeah, and I think Ruthless really wanted a shot against Eximious as well. So yeah, it's going to be a fun match whenever it happens, in case we do qualify.
And the thing I'm looking most forward to as well is now going to be Ruthless Game and Eximious Esports. So they are also like really good teams, and they might potentially end up meeting in the semifinals, and that's going to be a cracking match as well, right, Frost and Loki? What are your thoughts on those two teams?
I mean, all the teams here are well deserved, so all these matches that are going to be played here are going to be pretty explosive.
For sure. And so this is how the brackets look like for the first seeds, and this is where things are gonna get a little tricky. So now when we start drawing, right, if we end up drawing group C or group D guys, then they will end up joining Ruthless because they will not be in the same half of the bracket. Just wanted to let you guys know before we start. So Orion, now it's time to take the second seed teams, roll them onto the wheel and see what we end up getting.
First, do you want to call dibs on any second place team?
So since Stormraiders are the ones who are picked right now, and since the first half of the bracket is not like gonna be theirs because RVX is a part of it. So Stormraiders will end up playing Ruthless Gaming for quarterfinals, and whoop-de-doo! This is exactly like Murphy's Law. I was praying and hoping that this would not happen, but alas, that's how it is. And well, my own thoughts on this is like, well, you gotta beat them all anyways. So if you end up playing one of the best teams in the quarterfinals, might as well be it. So kind of like, nah, about it.
Come on, Rishi, no fighting words against Ruthless, man.
I mean, like, the thing is, I would love to go far into the tournament, and personally, like Ruthless Gaming was the team I did not want to face, mostly because like I personally feel that they're the best team, and not only that, like I think we've played against them a lot and they know about us a lot, so it's basically gonna be very very
Isn't their
difficult to
captain
play
your
against them.
coach?
Yeah, so he sort of is, and yeah, that's where the sisterhood is now. There's gonna be a bloodbath between the two teams, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a very fun match against them. All right, move on to the next teams, and Orion, you need to roll the wheel and see what you get.
Good luck, Alliance, please.
What did you get? Oh, so I
They are not in the first half as Ruthless Gaming. That basically means Meme Team is going to be playing against RVX, and Frost, I think you'd be pretty happy with that draw personally, wouldn't you?
wouldn't have mattered it to either Lanka Lions or
No, I
Green
don't
Team.
want diplomacy here, Frost. Loki, why don't you tell me what Frost must be rethinking about this draw right now?
Just like easy game, boys. Don't even have to practice, man.
Yes,
Gonna go
well,
on a
I mean,
vacation.
out of all the four of them, of course, they're a little bit on the easier side. So yeah, most of it I'm happy with. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I personally, Meme Team, personal opinions, they did come out with a tiebreaker in Group A, but honestly, they seem like the weakest of the four teams that we have. But kudos to them because they played the semi-pro tournament, and after the semi-pro tournament as well, they were able to qualify out of groups, and that's pretty impressive considering how they've played. In any case, let's move on to the next draw. And Orion, could you roll the wheel and see who does Natkhat Launde end up facing in their quarterfinals? eSports. That is gonna be a part. Oh, that's actually a good match as well. So Ignite Esports have been drafted into the top half of the bracket. They will end up playing Natkhat Launde. In their quarterfinal matchup will be a best of three. And Loki, your thoughts on Ignite Esports, man? They seem pretty impressive so far.
They're just gonna be igniting my cigarette. No, I'm kidding. They've been playing pretty well.
That's true as well. So that basically leaves
Ganja.
Lanka Lions for quarterfinals. So what we are seeing here is basically a rematch of the Asian Games qualifiers where Lanka Lions and Eximious did play against each other. And honestly, those two were pretty close games too. So I'm actually very, very hyped up for that matchup as well. It's basically going to be Pakistan versus Sri Lanka happening on that side of the bracket. And I think that's going to be a pretty exciting match to watch as well because historically from what we have seen out of Asian games, like Lanka Lions have actually fared quite well, even though they've lost those games. They did play those games quite well, and they were close to some extent. So that's going to be very interesting as well. So there you have it, guys. That's the completed draw. Like, all right. So quick thoughts from Frost first regarding all the draws, and walk me through what are your thoughts regarding all the matchups, Frost.
For quarterfinals, I think fun games should be your quarterfinal, and yeah, I think the fourth quarterfinal as well should be fun to watch. Apart from that, I think it should be one-sided. Natkhat Launde is, I think, one of the best teams in the tournament, so it'll be fun to see how they respond. Semi-finals, again, I can't really comment on that. Semi-finals will come down to preparation, strats, so yeah. It should be fun. I think from the third and the fourth quarterfinal should be really fun.
Definitely. And another nice fact that sort of been pointed out is like three of the four teams on the bottom of the half of the bracket are the guys who went for the Asian Games. So it's like a mini Asian Games happening in quarterfinals 3 and 4 that we will look to see how that pans out. But so far, like the draws seem pretty exciting, and we might just be geared up for like a very exciting semi-finals should the expected teams go through, and a very cracking finals if that happens as well. And yeah, so I mean, that's any closing thoughts on your side, Loki, regarding the group draws and anything particular you might just have to chime in onto this.
Yeah, I'm gonna be voting for all second seed teams. I hope you win. I'm sick of seeing these first seed retards take every single game. Yeah, but I really
Aren't
hope.
you a seed one team?
Yeah, dude, I hope Ignite wins, man. But honestly, I actually hope we get some upsets. Quarterfinal 4 is Eximious Gaming versus Lanka Lions. I think that's going to be a very interesting game.
All right, that's definitely going to be an interesting game. So, just to recap for you guys, these are our four matches. As expected, quarterfinals 1 and 2 will be played on Saturday at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. respectively. Quarterfinals 3 and 4 will be played on Sunday, this Sunday on the 15th, I'm assuming. Yes, on the 15th
Yes.
at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Post which we will end up having your semi-finalists and finalists, and there will be a third place match as well that will happen the weekend after. So that's it from the live draws for us, guys. It has been an exciting draw for Loki and Frost. It has been a saddening one for me personally, but I'm looking forward to the other case. You know, like I feel as if that'll be a cracking match to watch. Even if we might not be the obviously might be we are the underdogs going into that, but that'll be a fun match. And I'm also looking forward to Eximious eSports personally and Natkhat Launde Ignite eSports as well. I want to see if Panda keeps getting his trend number or finally Ignite eSports learns to ban it out or not. So it's a lot of answers will be seen when the draws happen. So guys, stay tuned on Saturday 6 p.m. on the Twitch Sports Global Esports channel. We will be streaming these games, and for now, I think that's goodbye for the stream. We'll see you guys on Saturday at 6 p.m.
See you guys.